Right, welcome to the video. The S3, sorry. It's a 1.8 turbo, 550cc injectors. You'll see me going through it and stuff like that in the clips next. But in this bit, right, we're gonna get on with tuning this on the dyno. So 550cc injectors, got a Ko4 sort of hybrid. It's from Midland turbo. They normally just change the compressor side wheel, so it doesn't really do a lot, but we'll see what that does. And then, so yeah, so let's get cracking on the old Maha. I'm going to do the flash and tune method, so I'm not going to run the emulator on this because there's not really much to it. So I'm just going to tune it, and I've got other things at the same time in other countries to get setting up. So obviously sharing my laptop would be a bit complicated, a bit slow, and a bit wank. So let's tune it up. Let's go.
First issue. So we've got a bit of a smoke leak down here. Looks like a aftermarket valve, which just doesn't work. Because it's running closed loop back into the system. I'm going to have to block this off. So them things do not work. Trying to keep to the factory stuff. Right, let's fix that. Now what I'm going to do, because it runs a catch can set up, I'm going to stop it going back in here. So back into the intake. So if I just take this off and then blank it off going into the tip, that'll stop that, and then that won't be an issue. So let's go and do that. Alright, so what I've done is down here I've just put a bolt with the thing, and I'm going to leave this as open loop, so the crankcase can breathe, but it's not having any interference with what's going on with the intake. So that should be enough for that. So let's carry on. The rest of it seems pretty strong. We've got a small leak in the DV, which is normal. Running one of them 4008s, bit crap, always leak through there. Pistons are ever good. Apart from that, leak wise we're alright. So we'll crack on now and check all the plugs and everything, change the injectors. Just a quick one, try and maintain things like these dipsticks, because that breaks off, it's only going to go down there, which is going to go into your pickup pipe. So of course try and look after things like that, just to maintain a good, decent, hard, healthy engine. Right, it's got to change these injectors out quite easy. You can remove these two 5mm Allen keys, pull the rail out, and clip these. They're on little rubbers. You pull them out and then you remove that one first, because then it empties all the fuel in the rail without having to chase each one. Swap them out, put them back in, job done. We'll do this before every session, so it's quite an easy one. Alright, injector time. So these are 550s, they do for about 400 us. And these are the BAM injectors. Obviously when these are good and new, they do to about 280, but obviously in this condition, who knows. So taking them out, dropping them in, finish this off, get it on the dyno, let's go. Right, rolling, injectors are in. 550cc injectors, we've got the clips, I'm not too clean on these clips, they're a bit shit. As in, you wiggle them and they turn the injectors off. Now these seem quite tight, so they might be alright, but I do prefer to wire them in. It's only 2 wires in each injector loom, so not nothing major. So I'm just going to pop these on here, make sure they're clipped on. Now I'll give it all a good clean around here, because when you put new injectors in, you want to make sure they're sealed. So when you turn it on, obviously the cleaner it is, the more chance you've got of seeing anything squirting out of there. So I'm going to, we have this boost gauge on the fuel pressure rail, which isn't the best. I've got to put a little cable tie on there just to make sure that's tight. I'm going to put his boost gauge on here, it's much better. And then we'll get it over to the dyno. Now, power wise, he's got pretty much everything. He's got his charge pipe from track slag, these are really good, they look really cool too. That's leaking a bit, so it's not great. He's got his intake tip, which is alright. He's got a China fold. I don't know if that's ported or what, but it's got the China fold. It's got a Ko4 kind of hybrid from the turbo. What else has he got? He's got stock pipes, which isn't the best. Obviously changing these all helps. Apart from that, I'm running now an open loop system for the crankcase. and good to go, I think. So we'll just run this into the dyno, bang the math back in, run this into the dyno, give it a few runs, set it up, see how we get on.
Right, she's now on the dyno, so we'll get over to this one now. We'll make it two-wheel drive because obviously it's an S3, it's a four-wheel drive variant. Now, just to make these two-wheel drive, bunch of fuses here, fit top middle of the big fuses. That one there, 5 amp. So on the fuses, you've got that one there, which is for the Hull decks. So that now is two-wheel drive. So these are the only variant of the Hull Dex cars that you can't run in four-wheel drive mode. The TFSIs and the MQB we can, but this one we can't. So let's get it strapped down and get cracking. Now while I'm doing this, Baz, he's out there cleaning my car. He's a good lad, is our Baz. He's a good lad. Right, we're all in the dyno. So got my headphones on because it's loud. So I'm just gonna obviously turn the laptop on, get swinging on this little car. I'm all in. I'm all in. So I'm just going to write a file on first, just to kind of set up the injectors because they're obviously 550s, so they're going to be nowhere near at the minute. So I'm going to write a base map on, set that up, go low boost. So I'm going to cut the boost to the map, and then I am going to send it. Right, I've flashed the first file, which takes about 10 years to write. So now I'm just going to go over the car with VADCOM. So I'll show you that bit in a minute while he gets his VIN number up. There we go. So first of all, fault codes. You always get that one when you flash the car, so don't worry about that one. So clear that. Yeah, see you in a bit. Right, don't go back. Measure blocks, cams. Let's have a look at the timing. Now, bang on, we're all right with that. Get focus. Might be better on the actual video. So, I'm happy with that. So, trims should be nowhere near. Got to work on those. It's got control. I've got plus or minus 25%, and it's still a cold engine. So, I'll wait for that to kick in, and I'll adjust that. Let's make sure the math and everything works. Take air temperature nice and cold, battery works fine, but voltage is an important one. If that isn't working properly, then it's no go on a session, because that has an effect on the injectors. So ignition okay, throttle valve okay, math's still a bit high, but I'm still on cold start. So I'm okay with that. I'll trim this up a little bit. It's got control, but still I want it tidier than that. I want it, you normally get it around plus or minus 5% when I'm flashing, plus or minus 2 when I'm on the emulator. Obviously it's faster to do the little tweaks on the emulator, but I just can't be bothered today to get the emulator out, so I'm just going to do the old flash method. So I've base mapped for the injectors, and then I'm going to go and send it because I'm on 0% boost, so it should be all nice and safe on the dyno, of course. So get cracking. Right, just waiting for it to warm up. As you can see, the trims are getting somewhere, well, better. They're in single digits now, so much better. I'm ready for a run, just waiting for it to warm up a bit, obviously get the oil around. And I give it a tickle on 0% boost because I want to see what the wastegate's like, because if it's not, well, not being a standard turbo, I don't know what wastegate cracking pressure is on it. I can obviously test it, but this is a quicker method. So I run 0%, log the boost, and that will give me what the cracking pressure is, so I can carry on. Because obviously if it's like a 14 psi or 10 psi, I don't want to be starting at 100% duty, because that will send me to the moon. We don't want to go to the moon just yet. So let it warm up and I'll come back to you in a minute.
So run number 1 done. Let's have a look. So we're at 260 horse and 212 foot-pound. That's pretty wank, not that great graph. Not like that, a bit flat. But that's on wastegate pressure, so that's pretty good going, to be fair. I mean, let's see what I was at the top. Get a better picture. So it's going to have a look at the log. Should be off now, yeah. So the fuel looks okay at the minute. So we're not far off. Shouldn't be too far off, because obviously I've done quite a lot of these. Open log file, Audi S3, fuel run 1. So what we're looking at here, got RPM, I'm going to highlight that. I don't know where the run is. So lambda control actually looks okay. Single digits, what we like, 3.1. 0. So we've got single digits on the lambda control, which is good. The actual and the specified is bang on. We've got no problems there. Intake air pressure, temperature, sorry, 20 degrees. Fuel is a boosted at 5%, so it's quite flat and low. Pretty much follows the graph. Starts to creep at the top. Not by much. Like what, 800 millibar. So pretty good there. So the boost pretty much follows the graph, so that makes sense. So I'm going to start winding that in now and see what happens. So it's got a very weak actuator, it's about 5 psi on the run. I don't know why I've got that lock on the screen. I don't want that on there. So it's going to save that as run 1. That was run 1. So I've now flashed on. I'm up to 60% on the duty now, so I'm just going to send it again. Foot codes. There'll be that foot code again for the power supply. Here we go. Put that off. Go back. Engine blocks. Trimmers take a few seconds to kick in. I'll turn the fan off during the run, so should be okay with that. Just going to check fuel and boost on this run again. And I'll look at time as we start coming in. So wait for this to settle and then I'll run again. I want to see that mid-range come in a bit better. That is a run finished. I've fixed up that middle area, which I'm happy about. So we've got a nicer curve, still about the same kind of power. We've got 257.4 and 227 foot-pound. But overall, if you open up the cursor, we are, if I can drag that over there, we have got about an extra 50 foot-pound in the mid-range. So I'm quite happy with that. So let's carry on. Right then, full send number 2. 3, we're on 3 now, so I've bumped up to 70%. Good plug back on in, so I'm just going to get that going again. Device not recognised. That'll be super. Right then, so let's get on with this now. Wait for that to kick in. Do another run on boost. Just kind of setting up his boost at the minute. Timing's always pretty much close anyway. I'll try a little bit timing them. Put it off finished. Right, let's continue to wind this boost in and see what she's saying. Hopefully I can hit about 280 horse, be nice. As I said, the Ko4 ain't that great on these. Alright, but nothing special. So Audi S3 run 3, at 70% duty now. Let's see what that does. So we're at 276.2 HP at 260 foot-pound. Boost wise, let's have a look. So open that log up. Again, make it run. So coolant temp 91 degrees, lambda still on single figures. During the run. Runs bang on fuel wise, about 31 degrees on the intake temp, obviously pushing more boost now, and I'm just clicking 1.2 bar. So 1.2 bar has brought me 276 HP. Nice. So what I'm aiming for now then is the torque. I reckon that the actual power is going to stay around about the same. Might hit 280, and then I want the torque. I want around 300 foot-pound to make this a fun car. Obviously 300 foot-pound is around the limit for the stock rods. Obviously some will do less, some will do more. So it's 70% duty, we get 1.2 bar, and happy days. So let's wind that up again. I'm going to wind up to about 80%, and I'm going to see where we are with that. And then I'm going to set up my boost table around that, and then call it a day. So hopefully, anyway, let's see what we get. If I get round about 300 foot-pound at 80%, I'll be happy. If I gotta go a bit more, I'll go a bit more. I want about 1.5 bar on this turbo, tapered off to about a bar at red line. See what that gives me. So let's keep plodding on. On that run, on a pretty much stock Ko4, I did 297.2 and 311 foot-pound. Not bad, eh? Slightly higher foot-pound than I want, so I'm going to back off the boost as it comes in. So heating that up a little bit, but not bad going on the stock Ko4. Well, pretty much stock Ko4. Got a different compressor wheel, but not real fancy. So I'm quite happy with that. Nice flowing setup. So let's see what she does. Oh, here we go again. So I backed the boost off a little bit. I'm now running 75% duty tapered. So backed it off from 80. So save that one. It's actually run 4. I'm on like run fucking 20 odd a minute. So that was actually an 80% run, and that was 1.5 bar beat. Right, repeat. Load. One. 3, boom. Right, so let's smooth this out a little bit. So let's go. there we go. 294.8 HP at 296 foot-pound. Decent graph, nice curves. Let's go over the logs. So on that basic log, I'm going to run it again, just because I want to look at the timing as well. But on the basic logs, we have intake temps are good, 37 degrees. Fueling is bang on, I'm happy with that. Boost, we've got 1.45 bar held for about a good, what, from 4, so from about, get that on, get awkward this, so from 3.2 to 3, so about there, about 4.2, I held it at 1.4 bar, which is what that taut line is, nice and flat curve there to hold off and then tapers off. And then I give it a little spike in the middle, well not really a spike, just a little raise in the middle, just to put a bit of love there, just to keep it going. And then just tapers off to a nice 1.2 bar, 1.1 bar at red line, which should give us 295 brake at 296 foot-pound. So I'm happy with that. Decent setup, decent build. Now I've got the fuel trims to where I want them. So I'm happy with that. That's all done. This car is like the perfect car. So I've just done a run straight after, and I'm hitting again 293.5 at 296.8 foot-pound. So it's very consistent run after run after run. Timing pull, none. So all four. So what I'm looking for is basically it's looking for any retardation on the cylinders. If this is knock, I'm not seeing any knock, so I'm happy with that. I'm at 17 milliseconds on the injection timing, so I've still got more headroom on the fuel. Obviously we swapped to 550, so I'm happy with that. Mass airflow is looking good, 224 milligrams. We've got throttle flat out 100%, and our timing line, this is what I'm looking for, is a nice straight curve with no timing pull. Peak we're looking at 19.5. It's just a beautiful car. It's just everything the tuner wants. It just plays ball, makes easy power, nothing's getting strained, and I'm happy with it. It is going to be happy with it. So that's that session complete. Took a good, what, we got here about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock by the time we got it in. So it took a good 2-3 hours doing all the pre-checks. So that is how you set up a nice Audi with all the pre-checks. Do all that bit right. The tuning side is easy. It took me what, 7-8 runs to get this set up. So I'm happy with that. He's going to be happy with it. Thanks for being a part of that video on the 180 Audi S3. So 400 brake, quite good really. I'm just going to get cracking on with this lovely Super Ko4. My next job, making it ready for track, make it fast. So I'm going to crack on with that. So I hope you all have a good night. Subscribe, like, press the little bell thing, and I'll see you over in the next video.